Fearful avoidance. We know that we can get extremely triggered over little things that kind of trip up our buttons, right? And if you are someone who is like me, if you're being completely honest, you know that when you are triggered, you can become very volatile. You can stonewall people, you can push them away, just ice people out completely, or you can take some other negative coping mechanisms, maybe taking a lot of alcohol or going to do something that you shouldn't really be doing, right? Whatever that looks like. It's like cause and effect. You get this trigger. I don't know what to do with all this emotion that's bubbling beneath the surface. I need to take action. And usually that action is not very healthy, especially when you haven't learned anything about emotional regulation. And that is what I'm here to share with you today. So I had been on my healing journey for quite some time now. And when I was pretty much full on fearful avoidant, I was amazed at the work that it took. I mean, to really get out on the other side. Like, this was not an overnight process. This was something that when I was feeling so triggered, like, I had to force myself to take healthy action because I knew it wasn't until I was going to train myself through repetitive times of me doing something new that this was going to get programmed in, right? Because we are initially programmed through repetition and emotion. So whatever coping mechanisms we currently turn to whenever we are triggered, they kind of just run on autopilot. Like, we just do it without even thinking twice about it. And it's not until you can actually take conscious action to realize, right? This is self-awareness, realize what I'm doing is not healthy and I need to update my strategies. And once you update them and you've been implementing them for a little bit of time, they start to become automatic processes. And this is what I want for you, especially in the midst of the trigger. Whenever you are feeling like a 10 out of 10 trigger, right? I want you to turn to this tool that I call the emotional processing tool. And what this tool is really designed to do is to get you to kind of become aware of what is going on in your mind and to figure out what you are needing and find a healthy solution to advocate on behalf of this need. Why is this so important? Because when we have a fearful avoidant attachment style, right, we can tend to think in this black or white thinking. It's like all or nothing, like it's really good. And if it's not really good, then it must be really bad, right? Like, or thinking in catastrophizing. So like if somebody is running late home from work, I use this example a lot on my channel, but if somebody is running late from work, like you might notice you jumping to these worst case scenarios in your mind. And the thing is that whenever you think thoughts in your mind, right, you think these thoughts, they automatically create emotions that are sent throughout your physiology. And your mind and your brain and body, they're kind of taking on whatever you're imagining. Like if you're imagining your partner's running late and you're thinking, what if they're cheating on me? Your brain like doesn't know what is real versus what is visualized. And therefore, this is why you can have such a strong emotional response, even if it's not really what's going on. Science has pretty much proven that every single action we take is based on our emotions at the time. So it's like, if you are thinking these negative thoughts, you're having this negative emotional response. Well, what action are you going to take when you see your partner, they finally show up? You're probably going to like blow up on them or avoid them, even if in reality, they didn't even do anything wrong. So this tool is going to be extremely powerful in getting you from being a 10 out of 10 trigger to hopefully making you kind of slow down and think about things. So real quick, before you get into this tool, I want you to calm your emotions down. You have to get yourself into kind of a more regulated state. And the way that you're going to do this is for taking 5 minutes, right, of your time and just doing some kind of emotional regulation activity. This could be box breathing. This could be deep breaths where you're inhaling in for 4, holding for 4, exhaling out for 4, that's box breathing, or doing like the 7, 8, 9 breathing techniques, or really just sitting and just meditating for 5 minutes and just focus on your breathing and just be, right? Just calm your body down. I know in the moment of a trigger, like you're thinking, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here, but kind of force yourself to kind of do it and just see how over time this makes you feel. Like you'll start feeling less triggered all the time. and more regulated because you know how to regulate your emotions, right? And once you get out of like this 5-minute regulation of your emotions, you're gonna go through this emotional processing tool. And what this is really asking yourself, like, when you are in the midst of the trigger, right? What is going on and what do you feel? What is the emotion? What is the triggering situation? And what is the emotion? So let's say your partner, again, let's use my superstar example that I use all the time, that your partner is running late from work. They're usually home at 6 p.m. every day. It is 7 o'clock. They are not here. That is a situation I am feeling anxious, worried, and just like frustrated at this point, right? And so the next question I want you to ask yourself, you can journal this down, like these questions, or you can just do it in your mind, but you're probably gonna have to write these prompts down. The second question you're gonna ask yourself is, what am I believing about the person or event because of what is going on? Like, what are you believing? Well, in this situation, I am believing that my partner is doing something sneaky because they are not home yet. And I know that I'm thinking that because if I ask myself, like, I know that's why I'm having this negative emotional response, because I'm thinking like these negative thoughts in my mind. My partner must be doing something sneaky, or they're disrespecting me. They're not being considerate because they haven't called me. These are the thoughts that are going through my mind. So this is what I am believing about my partner. And then the third question we are going to ask ourselves is, can I know for 100% that this is true? Short answer is going to be no. And what this question is getting you to do is to really ground yourself in the facts. Now, does this mean to be oblivious to what could actually be happening? Like if somebody was doing these things? That is not the point, but the point is not to be emotionally invested into one-sided perceptions until you've been able to talk to your partner or whoever and really figure out what is going on. So if you knew for 100% that that was true, then that's one story, right? We need to figure out what action to take next. But if you don't know, you don't want to be emotionally investing into this one-sided perception until you find out the facts, right? The fourth question we're going to ask ourselves is, can you find 3 pieces of proof to oppose this original interpretation that you are giving to the scenario? And so if I am thinking my partner is doing something sneaky, can I find three pieces of proof of like something else that it could be other than what I was thinking? Like, maybe he got a flat tire. Maybe he had to stop at the store to get some stuff for work. Maybe he stopped at a relative's house, right? Whatever it is, find 3 things of what it might be other than that worst case scenario thoughts that you had coming up, right? So I thought he was doing something sneaky. What else could it be, or might it be other than that? So again, I'm finding 3 things that it could be because I'm bringing my perception back into balance. And so that way my brain isn't thinking all these negative things again when we don't really know what is going on. Question number 5 is going to be, what is your need in this situation to create relief? Well, in this situation, I probably need a little bit of reassurance and validation, or I need to know what is going on. I'm getting curious, I'm getting anxious, I'm getting worried. I need to know what is going on. So therefore, I could write down, I need to know when my partner is coming home, what is going on, right? And then the last question number 6, is going to be, what is a healthy strategy to get this need met, right? A healthy strategy. Let me highlight that. So a healthy strategy might be, okay, I'm going to call my partner and I'm going to, have a calm tone. I'm not going to be like rude or anything. I'm going to be just chill because I don't know what could have happened. What if he had an emergency? I'm not going to be acting all crazy if something really came up. So I might set my healthy strategy. I might write down, I'm going to call him directly and say, hey babe, is everything okay? I see you're running a little late today, or whatever. Just something that's kind of nice and you're still being kind, right? But you're getting your need met as well for that reassurance and knowing what is going on, right? Do you see how all this makes sense? It can be the difference in night and day. Like, you're, instead of having these roundabout strategies to get your needs met in your relationship and just kind of like reacting on these thoughts that are passing through your head based on like past traumas or whatever, or running on autopilot and causing you to sabotage your relationship, be volatile, or just have all these reactions all of the time. Instead, you're kind of bringing your awareness to the surface. You're figuring out with this introspection what it is that you're needing. You're questioning your stories because a lot of the times they are not true. And then you're advocating on what it is that I need right now, and you're going directly to the source with a healthy strategy to get that need met. And now you're feeling regulated and you're feeling back to normal. And you're like, oh, when you get home, instead of being volatile or stonewalling because you didn't know what you needed and now you're just going to avoid them or whatever because you have all these thoughts, now you're able to be more present and probably enjoy the rest of your evening. And instead of sabotaging your day every single day, you can be more present with your partner and have a better life as a result. So I hope this was helpful. I'm sending you all lots of love. If you aren't already, please hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next video.